Leadership Academy, big deal. Okay. Um, it's free education, like period, plain and simple. Okay. On top of it being free education, you also get wined and dined by Family Heritage, who does it better than anyone. So while you get training, you're going to go out and do all these fun activities. You're going to go to five-star dinners and you're going to meet the other people at your level that are doing what you're doing. Mike, I'm probably going to send you to a sales academy in May while we're at boot camp because you can't qualify for it. Brooklyn will probably be there while we're at boot camp. Troy, I'll probably send in August. Everyone else that can go to 201's already been. I've probably sent, I have the number somewhere, but like 20 agents through Leadership Academy. Okay. This is my second time going through 301, and I'll be at 301 again in July because something that has changed recently is that MDs and RDs 301 will be twice a year so that we can continue to grow, develop, and train. Same thing with 401. Okay. So Devin can go to 401 in July, the week before I go to 301. And Devin can continuously go to 401s until he becomes an AO. So get with your leader and look at when your next available chance to go to Leadership Academy is. The only thing you have to pay for to get down there is your flight, and we can use your chargeback account to get you there. Okay. So there is literally zero excuse to go other than your annual, family gathering is on that same time. Okay. Well, then we'll schedule you to go to Leadership Academy a few months later. But I would say it is paramount to the development of your career. Leadership 101 is just going to be enough to open your eyes. It is not at all any kind of leadership development. It is to give you a taste of the home office. It's to give you a taste of the company that you're a part of. It's to take you and show you Globe Life Studios and our home office and get you around the staff and get you to meet other people that are at your same level and get you to really understand that at your level, you don't understand that you're a part of a billion-dollar organization. You're driving around in your car in your neighborhood and you're like, what the hell am I even doing? Like, is this some podunk little company? I haven't seen an office. I haven't seen when you go to home office, it's supposed to show you like, oh, this is legit. That's the only point of 101. 201, now you've tasted it. Now you're ready to start being a field director. Okay. So 201 is to show you like, hey, you need to be sending more career overview videos. And here's some scripts and ideas on how. Once you get those career overview videos, you need to be working with your leaders on going and doing your interviews and shadowing interviews and seeing what that is like. Here's the standards for training new agents. So like Zach Sandman, right? He's training somebody. Zach, have you been through 201?
Yes, sir.
Boom, right? So he's gotten training from Devin and I. He's gotten training from Trainmores. He's gotten training from 201. So now Sandman's able to put together all of his training from corporate, agency, Trainmores, regional, market, and go, okay, what is going to be perfect for Zach? Now, how do I put Zach into this a little bit and make a compact training program that works for Zach, right? Maybe Zach likes to be the one that does the first 5 calls. Maybe Kaisa's the one that likes to have her agent do the first 5 calls, right? Like there's going to be some freedom and flexibility on how you work that, but those systems are going to be taught at these leadership academies. 301 is exclusively for market directors. And now it's available to us twice a year. And so Family Heritage, really Amanda Arndt, has put together 12 steps to basically developing a good leader. Okay. And they're broken down into 3 modules. There's the vision module, there's the leadership and development module, and there's the strategic module. Okay. Each one of them has 4 breakdowns. And so step 1 for market directors was vision. So it is very, very good that I'll be talking to you guys today on this vision call. Okay. Now, I've been a market director for almost 3 years. I've been a market director longer than most of the agents that were there at 301 with me have been agents. Okay. I've been working on my vision for years. I've been working on our core values for years. So what this gave me was a little bit of help honing, but really it gave me a platform to see that even our market and regional directors have no idea where they're going. They're just going out and going to work and doing 2 out of 3 days, or they're trying to recruit 2 people a quarter. Like that's about the distance that their vision goes, right? I just need to keep getting 2 out of 3 days. I just need to teach people to get 2 out of 3 days. I just need to recruit 2 agents so that I can keep my market director promotion. Like that's kind of the extent of their vision. Okay. It needs to be so much more than that. And we work on this a lot in here, but we're going to break it down a little bit further. What I keep looking at is this little manual that they gave us while we were at Sales Academy, so I can refer back to some things. But I think the thing that I want to break down to you guys and really show you guys is what they call the GROW method. And so I'm going to go over this, and you guys are going to want to take notes on this. It's very, very helpful. But I'm going to break down this GROW method for you so that you can help, so that I can help you guys kind of start to see what the layout of the vision is going to grow into. Okay. Now, I think where I'm starting to learn people struggle with vision is you guys think your vision is supposed to be this big, gigantic vision that's so deep and meaningful and powerful and blah, blah, blah. That is what your vision will become. Okay. But right now, your vision might be to become debt free. That is the extent of your vision. Okay. You can't think about making an impact on the world while you're still struggling to pay off people that you borrowed money from 5 years ago. Right. And that's all you can think about. Well, if that's all you can think about, good. Let's make a vision around that. And then let's build a game plan around that. And when we accomplish that vision of being debt free, great. Let's start to develop a new vision. And maybe that next vision is that now that you're debt free, you want to save to buy a home. We're in a pretty insane market right now. Where I live, average home is like $700,000. 20% of that, it's 150 grand. So let's put together $150,000 so you have a 20% down, right? That could be the next vision. But when you start to bring other people into the career, no one gives a shit that you want to be debt free. Hey, my vision is that I'm going to be debt free. You want to be a part of my business? Well, only if you've proven to get yourself debt free and you can show me how to become debt free, because my vision is to be debt free. Then I'll follow you, right? Because you have a vision that you accomplished of being debt free, and I have that same vision, so you can teach me to do what I want to do. But if your vision is just, I'm still working on paying off my debt, that's my vision. To lead somebody else in vision becomes difficult. Okay. So how do you create a compelling vision that's going to move both you and somebody else? We get caught up a lot in the numbers here, right? Like, for example, they showed us that the average market director produces $988,000 per year. The average market director is $1 million a year business owner, right? But these $1 million a year business owners have no idea where they're going. They're just good at selling insurance, right? Which works for a little while, but we're trying to motivate ourselves. Okay. So there are a few core concepts for vision. Number one, it's got to be future focused. Okay. It's a vision of the future. Okay. So you have to be able to see a world that does not yet exist. Okay. And then your job is going to be to do the mission to create that vision. Okay. Your vision is going to create a mission. You're going to execute the mission to make the vision come true. It has to be inspirational. Okay. There's only 2 ways to move human beings: inspiration and desperation. When we're selling our product, we're pitching to people through desperation. Could you imagine how desperate you would be if you got in a head-on collision and couldn't pay your bills because you were stuck in the hospital? That's the selling point of our product, is desperation. But the selling point of your business has to be inspiration. I don't want to be cracking a whip, forcing people to work through desperate times. Okay. I want to inspire them. Okay. And so what can get difficult here is there's a lot of inspirational things. Like I want to build the Healthy, Wealthy People Academy someday. Okay. But that's a personal vision. That's something I want to do with my money to help impact the world. My team may not give a shit about me building a nonprofit organization. Okay. That's not going to be super inspirational for my team to gather behind. So the other thing that becomes hard is personal vision, team vision, right? And you need both. Okay. So just know that when you're creating this, that's where I went wrong about 2 years ago is I created a personal vision for my team. And really only my wife and one other person in my team really gave a shit about it. It's got to have a guiding direction. Okay. So like I could have a vision that I want to go to New York. The guiding direction is going to be the map on which roads I'm going to take, which exits I'm going to take, all of that stuff. So again, that's going to be a mission plan put together based on where we're going. And then again, this all gets a little fuzzy. And the biggest thing that all the other market directors struggled with, and you guys will too, is figuring out that mission and vision are separate. And mission is easier to conceptualize. And so almost everyone that created a vision statement last week or 2 days ago, they really created mission statements. Okay. But it has to be distinct from the mission. They're very separate. So when you start writing this out and what your thing is, if your thing is that I am going to pay off my debt by doing this, that's a mission. Okay. Because it follows, I'm going to pay off my debt. That's the vision. Okay. By doing what? That's the mission. So don't dirty up your vision with action. Okay. You are going to act to make the vision come true, but vision is not action. Okay. What can help you start to come up with your vision is coming up with core values that mean something to you. And those core values might lace into your vision, but it's going to start to kind of clarify who you are, what you want to do, the things you want to accomplish, what you want to represent. And so some good core values will help you open up vision. And I can send a picture of this. This is just a list of some values. Okay. So like some ones that I starred, even though I already have my core values, is impactful, innovative, integrity, inspiring, creative. Most other people didn't choose creative and innovative. But at Divinity Group, those of you who know us, we're very creative here. This is art for us. We have a brand, we have offices, we have, right? I love family heritage because they're so innovative, right? I want to be innovative with my business too. Okay, so coming up with some words that really mean something to you that are like, that's what I want to represent, that will help clarify. Okay. But what we're really going to break down today is the creating a vision through the GROW model. Okay. There's a book written around this somewhere. I have the note of what the name of the book is, and I'll send it to the chat. But GROW is broken down into 4 things. Okay. Acronym. G is for goals. Goals are not vision. Goals are goals. I want to be regional director this year. I want to be regional director of the year this year. So, I have to get promoted to regional director, and then I have to smoke the other 30 regional directors in performance. I got a lot of work to do from a goals perspective. I'm not even a regional director, but I want to beat all the regional directors this year. Okay. That's a goal. It's not a vision. R is for reality. Where are you actually? Okay. Because it's like, again, going to New York. Am I in New York right now? No. Where am I? Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. The distance from here to New York is going to be different than if I was at Devin's house in Corvallis. The highways I'm going to take are different. Everything is different based on the reality of where you are. Okay. And oftentimes it's very, very difficult for people to be truly honest about where they are. Right. Especially at the beginning of a career where you might be embarrassed or you might not be where you want to be or whatever. But like, You guys look at Devin and I and probably go, oh, they're where they want to be. Devin, are you where you want to be?
Dude, I'm the furthest one in this room away from where I want to be.
Right. We aren't where we want to be either. Right. So the reality of where you are is very important. O is for options. Okay. Because there's a lot of different options on how to get there. As a market director going to regional director, I could train everyone myself. I've tried it. It blows. Or I could use Paz and Kaisa and Zach, and I could use them to help me grow, which helps them grow, which is a better option. Okay. When Andy and I discussed that option a few months ago and we started executing it, boom, we started growing more. Okay. And then W is for will. Okay. It's about action. It's about commitment. It's about what you're actually going to do. Okay. Now, what I love about this is will is one of Divinity Group's core values. What will you do? Okay. When Saturday comes and you haven't hit your commitments, will you forego whatever bullshit you're doing on a Saturday afternoon to go hit your goals? Okay. That's will. But going, it's Friday. I didn't hit it this week. That's not will. Okay. So those four things, and we'll break them down. So goals. This is where the journey begins by identifying your desired outcome or destination. What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to be? The biggest thing about goals, you have to think big, brave, courageous, audacious. It's got to be insane, your goals. Okay, because if your goal, and I use this example often, when I worked with Hattie Clark, she wanted to write an eagle, one train more, and her goal was 10,000. And I told her before the week started, I said I would raise that goal dramatically if I were you. But 10,000 was already such a big jump in her head that she couldn't think bigger than 10,000. My goal for the week was over 30,000. Hattie missed her goal and wrote like 8,400 that week. So Hattie only missed by 1,600. I missed my goal of 30,000 that week and I wrote like 18,000. I missed my goal by over $12,000 and I still almost wrote 20K. Hattie missed her goal by $1,400 and didn't even write 10K. So if you're going to miss, which you are, if any of you think you're just going to smack your goal first try, you're an asshole. Okay. And if you have the audacity to miss your goal the first time and then go, oh, it just doesn't work. Again, you're an asshole. Okay. You're never going to hit your goals ever. When you do, it's going to be such a short little moment of sweetness where you're like, oh my God, I did it. It's gone. Monday morning, no one gives a shit about the eagle that you wrote on Sunday. No one. It's like, oh, good job. What are you going to do this week? No one gives a shit that I hit market director qualifications last quarter. If I don't do it this quarter, guess what? I lose 5% of my pay and I go back to being a field director. So your goals have got to be wildly audacious because when you miss, you still want to accomplish really big things and be like, it's all right that I missed. But what makes you frustrated is when you miss a goal that you set to be so perfectly, and then you get in your head and you're like, oh my God, it doesn't work. I missed. I didn't make the money I wanted to make. Yeah, you aimed too small. And it seemed like it was a big aim for you at the time, but it wasn't. Right? Justin Ellingson writes double the amount of business as the next agency owner because he wants to write 100 million a year. And he only writes 20 million a year. Hear how I said only writes 20 million a year when the next agency writes like 10? Because he's thinking in 9 figures, not thinking in 7 figures, right? Reality. Where are you now? Here's where you examine your current situation. The where am I now part of the process. This step involves exploring challenges, strengths, and areas of opportunity. So when we're looking at where I am now, it's questions like this. Are you doing 2 out of 3 days? Are you showing up on all the morning meetings? Are you spending extra time and money going to be with your trainers and invest in the development of your career? Like all of the things that we go through on the weekly business review, when you find holes in it, which is what we should be doing in our PC calls with you. Hey, what happened here, here, and here last week? That's the reality of where you are. And if I can help you fix those holes, boom, trajectory gets fixed. So you have got to constantly be evaluating where you are to build a proper vision. Options. It's time for the option stage where you brainstorm strategies, solutions. Remember, this is a brainstorming session. There's no such thing as a bad idea. Explore all possibilities and self-placed limiting belief barriers. So when I think about not only going to regional director, but regional director of the year, again, I can do that by myself. I can use my team to get there. We could hire in just Idaho. We could hire in Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Texas, Oklahoma, like we are, right? So there's lots of options. Am I going to build with Devin, which I am? Or am I going to tell Devin, hey, man, you build over here, I'll build over here, like Mitch and Jeremy Bearden do? So like there's so many options, but you need to write what you think makes the most sense for you. And then the final stage is about action and commitment. What specific steps will you take and when? How can they stay accountable for their progress? Now, I teach you guys all of that to say that Family Heritage has put together this whole beautiful book. They've used other books to come up with this grow method, blah, blah, blah. But really what it comes down to is two things that we already do here every fucking week. Number one, your VPF, your vision, plan, follow through. Okay. What is your vision? And again, for you, it might be small right now. It might just be, I want to make 5,000 a month. Great. On a quarter, you want to make 15K this quarter. So we need to figure out vision, a plan, which is your will, right? And your options. What will you do on a weekly and daily basis? And then follow through. It's going to be your action. Okay. You have to actually do the plan. And then the weekly business review. When we go in and we go, did we do the things we said we would do? Yes or no? Yes. Great. What's going really good? No. What needs to be changed? Let's make an adjustment in the vision, plan, follow through, and let's try again this week. And we do this every single week, every single quarter. And that's literally this whole teaching part that we broke down at 301 is literally your VPF and your weekly business review. So it's not that big of a deal. Okay. You guys just need to find something that's powerful and impactful to you. But like my vision here at Divinity Group is not just about Divinity Group. It's about what we do here at Family Heritage. Okay. So our vision is to become the American standard of financial security and stability by eradicating the largest financial crisis in our country, medical bankruptcy, right? Our vision here is to eliminate the number one financial crisis in America. The reason that's a good vision for me is it's never going to come true. Just like Steve Jobs wanted to put an Apple computer on every desk in the world, there's other competition. People are going to have PCs and Samsungs and blah, blah. Like, so it's a good mission. It's a good vision. I can work for this every day until every desk has an Apple computer on it. I'm not done. Until every home in America is financially secure from what we protect against, we're not done. So that vision's so big that I can work on it literally for the rest of my life. And I can pass that vision on to whoever might take over Divinity Group one day. Because it's not personal, right? It's a big vision about what we're going to do for the world. It's about how I see the world after my vision is complete. And I see the world as a financially stable place where people aren't afraid of what they're going to do after an accident, where people aren't afraid if they can afford their kid to go to college or whatever. Every one of you on this call, my goal is that you can afford everything that you want in your life. We have to teach you how to do that. My goal is that no one out in the field ever has to worry about what they're going to do for money if something bad happens. But we have to go show these people what we do in order for that to happen. Okay, so start thinking about your goals. Start thinking about the direction you want to go. Start thinking about your core values. because guys, the reason I was so ready for 301 is I've been working on this stuff for like 3 or 4 years. I've been honing and refining this and sending it to Kelly and Devin and Andy and Shannenberger and getting feedback. And Shanny beat me up for 2 years because my vision was trash. And then I won best vision at 301, but I've been working on it for 3 years. Okay. So questions, comments, concerns on the grow method, vision, anything like that.
I just got one comment. By the way, this is awesome. I'm excited to put this up on the Rise YouTube channel. But one thing that Jon was talking about, like one thing that I wish that somebody would have told me, and I never understood this, and I'm not saying to settle at all, but your vision will take longer and be harder than you will ever realize. Like right now, whatever that vision is, it's going to take you longer, and it's going to, and it's going to take longer. It's going to be harder. And when Jon was talking about that, and just like the first thing that came to my mind, guys, okay, Michael Jordan, greatest of all time, 6 championships. He played for 15 seasons. He didn't win his first championship until he had already played for 7 years. But he had a vision. He knew where he was going. Okay. Tom Brady, he played for 23 seasons for 7 rings. 7? Double check that.
And he was drafted number like 170 or something.
Correct.
199.
Yeah.
If you look through the list of like these people's failures and the amount of times that they had a dream that they failed short of, and but it's one of those things where like Jon said, like, bam, oh, it didn't work, I'm not a champion. 7 years, and how many games do you have to play, and how many shots do you have to miss, and how many times do you have to work on his craft to become the champion? And then in a 15-year career, only win it 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Best of all time. Just understand that, like, when you're building these visions, it will take time to make it grow. To, like Jon said, it's going to take time to build it, but then it's going to take even longer to hit it. And a really compelling vision, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, come hell or high water, no matter how many times I fail, this is what we're going for, right? I'm going to become the greatest of all time. That's the only comment I have.
Anyone else?
Spitting fire, spitting straight fire that is gasoline lit fire, dude. Ridiculous.